In today's video, I'm going to show you how I mix skin tones only using 4 colors. Alright, flesh tones. The main thing I'm going to say about flesh tones is to not think about it as some sort of recipe. I see a lot of people saying like, oh, I don't know how to mix skin tones, as if there's some kind of recipe for skin tones. And first off, depending on the lighting and this, the skin tone, like all skin tones are very different in color, depending on, the lighting and, the shade of the skin and everything. So to think that there's some recipe or some magical way to mix these skin tones is kind of the wrong way of thinking about it. It should just be mixing color. You're just matching color. Let's just pick, this color right here on the cheek. First thing I think of is, this is definitely like the predominant thing is red. It's pink, white and pink is gonna be red. So I'll start there. Let's grab some Cadmium Red. Oh, and before I go on, Ultramarine Blue, Cadmium Red, and Cadmium Lemon, and this is a soft mixing white. And mix up, put some white, light and make pink, and it's never going to be, you're never going to have colors that are just the color straight out of the tube plus white. You're going to want to neutralize it, like that's way too vibrant of a pink. It's also not warm enough. So when you do learn just using these colors, you'll learn to mix colors by thinking, this needs to be more yellow. You won't be really thinking, I don't really think in terms of warm or cool. I tend to think of, does something need more blue, does it need more red, or does it need more yellow? And so to neutralize it, I'm going to take just a little touch of the blue here. That's going to knock it back. And you do have to know some color theory, like the primaries, and knowing what complementary colors are. Like the complementary of blue is orange, so yellow and red make orange. Complementary of red is green, blue and yellow make green. So if I'm seeing something and I'm thinking, oh, this looks too red, I need to add green. So if I think this is looking too red, I'll add green, which is green is blue, a little touch of yellow. So I like to get the color down first and then add the white to make it the right value of that color. So that's getting pretty close there. So now if I wanted to make a lighter version of this color, like you see this little highlight right here is a lot lighter. A lot of times I'll kind of make a side color off of this original color. That way I still have some of this color in it. It gives all your colors a unity if you kind of mix your colors off of previous colors. So as I add white, add a little more pigment to keep the value. So now I got a lighter version of that color. Now let's say if we wanted something with a little more yellow, a little warmer, like right in here. How about this color right here? It's a little more yellow than say like this pinkish color. So a lot of times I'd like take this, already have this color. I mean, you can mix up a whole new color if you like, but I'm gonna start here. I'm just gonna add a little more yellow. And also keeping your colors on your palette, constantly checking your colors in relation to each other on the palette will help, because you don't want them to be too different, because I mean this is skin tones from the same subject, so they're all going to be, they all should look like they go together. That's a little too yellow. So it's a little too yellow. Opposite of yellow is purple. Purple is red. Blue. So it knocks down that yellow. I'm going to start my darkest color from one to get pretty dark. Some red. So we got a purple here. It's a really dark purple, or a very vibrant purple. So knockdown purple means it's a complement of yellow. You see I'm just kind of like going back and forth between these three colors because I'm just constantly thinking, does it need more yellow? Does it need more red? Does it need more blue? And so once you do get this down, it's a pretty good dark skin tone. When you do introduce other colors to your palette, they kind of act as more of a shortcut. Crimson and cerulean blue and yellow ochre they kind of just act as shortcuts, but I do highly recommend learning to do it with these first because it'll just give you a better understanding. It's kind of like in basketball. You've got to learn to, the fundamentals of dribbling, passing and shooting before you're doing, between the leg passes and windmill dunks. All that stuff's good and it helps and it makes it better, but you still got to learn the fundamentals and have a really good solid foundation of color, so you understand why you're using those other colors. All right, so this is too red, so I'm going to add some blue, and this is just I think this color is a little too orange. A little more blue, saturate it a little bit. That's a big thing with skin tones. The big problem I see is people get their colors too vibrant, which means that they're not knocking down their colors with the complement. They're keeping them too straight out of the tube. All right, I'm gonna mix one more tone right here just to connect these two. So I'm going to be in the middle here. You see, you don't need to go out and buy all these fancy colors to get these skin tones. You can do it with just the complementary colors. So there you go. Got a variety of skin tones here. You can branch off and, mix intermediates of all of these. But I just wanted to show how much you can do with just the primary colors and how having a good foundation for how these colors work together and developing a way of thinking of, does my color need more blue? Does it need more red? Does it need more yellow? Is a really good way to start learning color. And this doesn't just go for skin tones, this goes for everything. Like if you can understand this and get this down, it will just work across the board for anything, because I never at any point did anybody ever sit me down and teach me what flesh tones were. Nobody said, all right, today in this day of class we're going to learn flesh tones. These are the colors used for flesh tones, and this is how much of each color and what you want to do with flesh tones. No, I just learned color. I got a handle on these three bad boys at white, and when it came time for me to do portraits, I just knew how to make color in general, therefore I was able to do skin tones. All right, so that's how I go about making skin tones. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at Forza43 and Facebook at Paint Coach. I'm Chris Fornatero here telling you to go get painting.